We'll ask Coach Painter to make an opening statement, then go to questions for AJ and PJ. Coach?
Well, I felt that, our guys did a good job coming out and being ready to play. I thought they did a good job of executing what we wanted in the first half. We got a spark from P.J. Thompson off the bench. He made a couple huge threes, for our team. But I thought we did a good job up to that point. We've had a little bit of a trend, where when we lead at half, we have a tough start to the second half. And when we're behind at half, we have a great start to the second half. And it makes absolutely no sense because I've never been part of a basketball season when it's been that way. But that has been a trend for our team. The problem with playing Wisconsin is when you have those bad starts and you allow them to get their head up and they start playing with confidence, it can snowball in a hurry. And I did think that we did a good job in a stretch coming up into the 10-minute mark to where we called a timeout. They had it to 6. We ran it back to 1. They ran it back to 6, had to call another one. We have a couple open threes at that point. We miss them, and we never really bounce back and recover. But I just thought Wisconsin was great in the second half. They were quicker to the basketball. They out-rebounded us. I thought Bronson Koenig was very good for them. We tried to get fouled instead of scoring the ball in a handful of possessions. And they have a way of frustrating you the way they defend. And, play great position defense. And we didn't do a good job of adjusting with it. And kind of fell apart from there. But give them credit. They got a chance to do something special, in the NCAA tournament. And Bo's done a great job.
Questions for AJ and PJ? We'll start right here in the second row.
AJ, I don't know how much time elapsed after your offensive foul when were you backed into Kaminsky and when you got into foul trouble and were on the bench because of that. But it seemed like after that foul, something just sort of shut off with you, or you didn't have it after that. I mean, am I wrong? What was going on with you after that play?
I just got my head down a little bit personally. I thought it was my third foul, so it's just like I tried to just slow myself down a little bit. It hurt our team, but the second half I came out, I didn't feel like I had enough energy, so I was kind of just down on myself, trying to pick myself up, and that just hurt me a little bit.
Back to back.
Yeah, AJ, along the same lines, did they do anything differently on you on defense in the second half?
I don't think they did anything differently. Really, he was just trying to get around, and when I got the ball, just trying to poke it from the back. That's the only thing really differently. Really just kept trying to just push me out and then just give me room, and then really I felt like he was just trying to take charges the whole time. So I just try to, when I did get the ball later on, I just try not to lower my shoulder as much. But I don't feel like they changed up that much.
Here in front.
PJ, we've seen the trend and the results of what's happened lately when you guys are up by half and then end up losing. Have you seen any trends within the way you guys are playing in those situations that's leading to that? Like in these last three, the Ohio State, Michigan State, and this one, anything that way you guys are playing after halftime that's leading to these losses?
Not really. I mean, sometimes when a team's making a run on us, we might get stagnant on offense a little bit. We might not move as much, cut as much, and we're just standing and watching. And but we need to just come together as a team, really, be able to sustain a run and just pick it up and know that we can hang with them. We just got to sustain that run.
Other questions for these two? Back here.
AJ, again, and I appreciate your answer to my last question. You played against Kaminsky, obviously. I'm sure you've tangled before with Nigel Hayes and even with Decker. Can you describe each one of them, what it's like to play against them when they're rolling, and what you think is unique?
Defense. What are you talking about, offense or defense?
Whatever stands out to you.
They just very versatile. Go from just offensive-wise, you got to have a great closeouts each time. Hayes can knock down a three, knock down great threes this game. Kaminsky, he gets you on the pump fake, gets you on the drive, so it's just hard trying to stay in front of him. He's more, I would say he moves better than most 7-footers, so it's just something like that. You just got to be ready to just guard that kind of speed, that kind of just versatility. And, I felt like we did great the first half, but it was just the second half, we didn't stick together as a group, and it just kind of hurt us.
Good.
For both players going forward this year and into next year, when you're sitting at halftime like you were today and you see how great you played and you were really dominant during stretches, you feel that this can be a really elite team over the next few years, and if you're capable of putting 40 minutes together, you can compete with anybody?
PJ, start with you.
Yeah, I mean, this year's been a great learning experience for us as a team. Going back to December, we had some downs, and we lost to two teams that we weren't really supposed to lose to. But I feel like we came together as a team after that, and we had a nice meeting. We had great practices after that, and we just felt like we just need to get back to Purdue basketball, and that's what we did. And we were able to make a great run in the conference tournament. But we just gotta. I mean, when we get down at halftime, we just can't get complacent. Really, we just gotta know that first media timeout. Instead of being up 5, let's be up 9, 10, and then move on from there.
AJ, want to add anything?
Really, just I feel like we're gonna be a great team next year, and then the years on. We just got so much depth on the bench, and then just our starting 5 is just so good. We just got to learn to play more as a team. You know, we put in a lot of work on the off season. It's just more coming together as a group, and then when your number's called, just make sure you're ready all the time.
Last one, Brian.
They were able to get some offensive rebounds there when you guys were down quite a bit. What kind of impact did that have on your guys' ability to come back, do something positive, maybe get your heads back up when you were down pretty significantly?
It was kind of hard. You know, somebody just getting offensive rebounds, and you got coaches just yelling at you like, just rebound. It's just hard, but it was just hard. You know, a couple guys put their heads down. You know, anytime somebody get an offensive rebound, then kick it back out, get a big 3. You know, it's pretty much a game changer. So it hurt our team, but it was just something we just had to, you know, come together as a group, try and get it back. You know, shots weren't falling for us, but you know, I feel like next time we'll get it.
Fellas, thank you very much. May we return to the locker room. Take a question for Coach Painter. Start right here in front.
Matt, how good is Wisconsin, and do you see them potentially being a #1 seed?
Well, I don't know about the seeding because I don't know what goes all into it, but I think they have a chance to win a national championship. So I don't think there's a lot of people that, you know, can say that. They're versatile. The element of being really good and not fouling people is unheard of. I mean, they do an unbelievable job with that. And I'm not knocking that or saying that. They do a great job. They were not fouling us down there, even though at times we were calling for it. They were not. They get physical with you. Then when the ball comes, they play great position defense, and they don't give you angles, and they come from different spots. They're really good. You know, they get to the free throw line, and their opponent doesn't. When they rebound the basketball, like today, I thought they shot the ball just okay. They had a good stretch in the second half. They can actually shoot better than they did. Their percentages are good in the second half, but they had some open looks, and we were giving them some of those open looks. We were trying to keep their post play. We're trying to keep that out, keep the ball out of the post to the best of our ability. But they can hurt you in so many ways with their skill and their size, and then they have one of the best coaches in the game.
Right here.
You allowed Purdue had 2 turnovers in the first half, 7 in the second. Do you attribute that to your play? Wisconsin, what was the change in turnovers?
A little bit of both. You know, they're not a pressure team outside of a couple guys. You can't play ultimate size the way they do and then pressure. They pack it in, they take it away. Gasser will pressure, Koenig will pressure a little bit. You can't tell people not to foul, you know, and then go after people. You're gonna, have a contradiction there. And so I thought we did a good job of moving the ball and being patient and getting what we wanted offensively. But for us, that's great. We've struggled in that area, but we haven't struggled with this style of teams turning it over. We've struggled with teams that are a little bit different than this.
Pete?
Matt, over here, the maybe lesson being learned from Isaac playing in a game like this, going against a guy. I know they played before, but how much does this benefit him down the road in terms of his growth?
Well, I think he's got a chance to be great. He's got to learn from his mistakes. He's getting frustrated sometimes when things don't go his way. He had a couple calls against him in Penn State that were borderline atrocious. And just it's mind-boggling because he used to lie to me early in the season. So he'd come off, he's one of those guys, I didn't foul him, and he just would crush the guy. Now the past 2 months, he's been really good. He was like, Coach, I didn't touch this guy. He flopped, and you go back and watch tape, and he's right. You know, they crack him in the head in the Penn State game, then they call him for a foul. And so he's had some things go his way. I think he's got to have a great offseason. I think the officials have to have a great offseason. Because he's different, man. He is 7'2", 300 pounds, and he's trying to get position, and he's keeping his arms up, and he's legal most of the time. And but they have to learn how to officiate him because those guys can't keep him from where he wants to get. and still be in legal guardian position. But I think the whole body of work, he's not going to grow until he can get that frustration away and not be able to get so down on himself when he doesn't, get a call. Or he had a point blank layup right there. He went to get fouled. You got to go to score that and take that guy with you.
Back in the back.
With AJ in the second half, did they do anything differently, or was it just a matter of them playing better defense on him?
I thought it was him, to be frank with you. I thought at times big guys want layups, and you got to take a 5-foot jump hook. They're so good with their position, and we've really worked with AJ on that, just holding, pausing, waiting, and then go above them. Because AJ can go to a spot they can't get to, even with a 7-footer, if you keep your angle and score the basketball. And he was just trying to grind it a little bit more and wheel and deal and get to layup mode. And you just got to score the basketball. But I didn't think they did anything. I thought he dropped the ball and they took it from him once. I thought they blocked his shot the other time. The other time I thought he just missed when they played good position defense. So if you want to know how to play position post defense, watch Wisconsin. They do the best job of the way they teach it. AJ really did a good job in the first half of going against that. In the second half, he kind of reverted back once, some things went against him.
Take two more, Bob, and then Brian.
Matt, do you like where you're at, where your team is at heading into the tournament? And following up, is there any question in your mind that you're in the tournament?
Yeah, I like where we're at. I like our effort. I like our guys. I thought today we got away from what got us the lead, but we also didn't make shots in that stretch. So sometimes when you make shots, it doesn't look as well, as good as it was before. So I do think we're in the tournament. We've had 13 Big Ten wins, and I do feel we're in the tournament. But we had to overcome some things. There's no doubt the way we played non-conference, we had to go get. I said it when we walked out of non-conference. I just said we got to get 13 Big Ten wins in some way. Counting the Big Ten tournament, however you want to accumulate it, we got to get to 13, and we were able to do that.
Last one, Brian.
Why was Bronson Koenig such a tough matchup in the second half?
Well, we switched some of those, and then he broke us down off the dribble the one time at late and shot that tough shot that banked in. He broke us down on a switch one time and stuck a 3 on Vince. He stuck a 3 on Basil, and we're going to live with that. We're going to go on the switch and knock Frank Kaminsky out of driving the basketball and then make him make a play over us. I think you got to tip your hat to him. I thought he made some tough shots in that stretch, and that really helped him. The ones that we get frustrated with are the ones that he's open. Those are the ones. But those 3 right there, I thought those guys played good D. The offense was just better than the defense.
Coach, thanks very much.
All right, thank you.